Ubisoft is once again back in the news with some very stupid, I'm just going to say it, things said in a financial report, and though not very surprising at this point because it's Ubisoft, and at this point Ubisoft just says dumb stuff over and over and over again, and we're kind of just getting used to it. So I am the Techno Jelly, and we are going to be on PC Gamer today. This is written by Stevie Bonfield. Thank you for the article. It'll be linked down in the description if you would like to check it out for yourself. The title goes, Ubisoft's annual financial report includes claims that monetizing games with microtransactions makes the player experience more fun. Ubisoft's latest financial report defends monetization in premium games. I mean, to be fair, of course they are, because why wouldn't they try to defend it? It's just literally, in their eyes, it's more money. But the biggest problem is that in my experience, at least with this type of stuff, all they do is make the EXP grind bigger, and they make it so it makes it feel necessary to buy EXP boosters because they made the grind so long. Especially with the most recent Assassin's Creed games. Like Valhalla was a huge offender of this, in my opinion. The game was like 50 hours too long, it feels like sometimes. But of course they're going to be defending these microtransactions because I'm sure they're making good money on them, because for them it's not really that much work for a lot of return. Just before we get deeper in the article, I'd like to remind everyone, please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it if you do. 95% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button. Ubisoft's annual financial report isn't exactly for us. That is, people who like video games and not stocks. But surely someone at the company had to know saying microtransactions makes games more fun is publicly available document wouldn't play well. The problem, I agree with the author, the problem is that the public, so far, when it comes to the gaming industry, what the public says and like does online is such a small portion of the actual community that unfortunately, for the most part, not a lot of things change or happen. Like, there has been some good things that happened, like a long time ago when Battlefront 2 first came out, like the loot boxes for that, and basically all of Overwatch 2 and Concord and stuff like that. But those are like the outliers, I would say, and not really the norm. Most of the time when people make a fuss online, nothing really happens. And especially when it comes to Ubisoft, they're just talking, you're just yelling at a deaf ear at that point. Like, it's Ubisoft. I don't know what could possibly save Ubisoft from this type of stuff. The report filed on June 19th is pretty extensive, but only 10 pages in, it dives into key elements of Ubisoft's group business model and strategy, which includes further monetization after initial purchase in the company's games. As reported by MP First, the report includes a key point about the adoption of monetization and engaging policies that respect the player experience and are sustainable in long term. And that's just a lie. It does not respect the player's experience, because most of the time what they do is they make the grind longer and make it so you can buy EXP boosts, at least in my experience. So that's just a lie. It's just PR speak. The section includes two seemingly contradictory statements reading, at Ubisoft, the golden rule when developing premium games is to allow players to enjoy the game in full without having to spend up more. Our monetization offers within premium games makes the player experience more fun by allowing them to personalize their avatars or progress more quickly. However, this is always optional. Yeah, that is a very contradictory. They literally say allow players enjoy the game in full, and then literally the next sentence, players experience more fun. It's like, no, if they're having the full experience, they shouldn't need to buy something for more fun. The full experience should include all of the fun. And like, okay, I'm not going to say microtransactions are the worst thing ever in general. And I understand there is a business side to it. I'm not trying to be deaf to that. But microtransactions in largely single player premium games are stupid, and just stop. If you think you need to make more money than the box copy of a single player game, then I think your business model is bad. And for Ubisoft specifically, like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but so far all your new games suck. And only the games that had potential, like for instance the one I've talked about before, X Defiant and stuff like that, you've just closed down. And all your games are literally the same game with slightly different skins. So that's the reason players aren't buying your games anymore, because you've made the same game for 10 years basically. And only games like Call of Duty, I mean, even arguably Call of Duty players wouldn't agree with the fact that it's the same game every year, because there are differences. But for Ubisoft, it really does feel like it's the same game with slightly different coats of paint, basically. And not only that, they've made the games arguably worse because they've added in all these microtransactions, so it makes the game, a single player game, feel like an MMO grind with daily quests and stuff like that. It's so bad sometimes. Microtransactions are one thing in a casual free-to-play game, especially when it only involves things that don't give player an unfair advantage, like cosmetic items. This is a completely different conversation when it comes to premium games. If you're playing a game for an game up front, it's a lot harder to stomach microtransactions or additional purchases unless it's something substantial like DLC. And I mean, like, the author and I are pretty much in agreement there. Like, for free-to-play games, I get it. That's how you make your money in a free-to-play game, with skins or battle passes and stuff like that. And honestly, like, I'm completely fine with that stuff. Like, you know, I've played Fortnite, I've played League of Legends, I've played Valorant, I've played Counter-Strike 2, I've played Marvel Rivals, I've played a little bit of Overwatch 2. So, like, I get those things and I'm totally fine with it. But once you start having microtransactions in single-player games, that's when I start having a big problem with it. Unless it is like a DLC. Like, you know, I really enjoyed the Witcher 3 DLC, the Outer Worlds DLC. I bought the Cyberpunk 2077 DLC, and I'll be playing that at some point. So, like, I like DLCs, but the quality of life stuff to sell as a microtransaction, like an EXP boost in single-player games, is dumb, because it just incentivizes the devs to make things longer grind. I think, wasn't that a big problem in, if I remember correctly, that was a big problem in Mankind Divided, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, because you could sell, they were selling either Praxis points or something like that, like the upgrades. So it's like, it's such a stupid thing to have pay to win in a single player game. Monetization and engagement policies that respect the player's experience feels like a half-hearted attempt to avoid the much revealed pay to win strategies or otherwise aggravating marketing of an in-game purchases. Even so, the bare suggestion that deluxe editions, outfits, or premium weapon skins are being included in our sake is laughable. Oh yeah, it's hilarious. I agree. The fact that it's like, oh, we're giving it you access to buy these things so it's more fun for you, is like, it's just a slap in the face, really. Let's be real. It would be more respectful if Ubisoft didn't pretend microtransactions are something players would even classify as fun. And the only time I've seen, and like, I don't know if it's reasonable, but like a okay argument of microtransactions being fun is things like gacha games, because like half the game is trying to get the cool character, right? Like the anime gacha games, and the community in those games are knowing, like, they know that's why it's like that. Like, you know, I've played things like Genshin and stuff like that, so it's like, that's where you can, like, I would only even slightly accept the argument of fun in microtransactions, but even then, I don't even know, because then you just argue it's more of like an addiction than fun, and exploitative than fun, but there's something there at least compared to what Ubisoft is trying to say. So yeah, it's Ubisoft. Sometimes I don't even know why Ubisoft speaks anymore, because every time they say something, I feel like I lose brain cells and my IQ goes lower every time I see Microsoft. I guess it shows how much I hate Microsoft right now too, when I see Ubisoft in the news. And this is just like, especially after canceling so many games and shutting down the studio that made the Prince of Persia 2D side scroller and stuff like that, it's just like, Ubisoft can't stop losing, and I don't think they're going to start winning anytime soon, because I don't think they're going to be in any good situation. They're going all in, it seems like, on Assassin's Creed, and the last Assassin's Creed game was like okay, but like, it's still Assassin's Creed, and that game had the microtransactions in the game as well, I'm pretty sure. So I feel like the only way to really stop this is to not buy their games, which, to be fair, a good amount of people are actually no longer buying Ubisoft games, and I'm included in that. I'm not buying any Ubisoft games because they're just so annoying to play. It really does feel like, for me personally, every time I play a Ubisoft game nowadays, to be fair, it hasn't been a while, but the last time I did, it feels like I am playing a single player MMO with daily quests and stuff like that, and I need to play every single day just to even keep in line with levels and stuff like that, or buy the XP boost, because it just takes so long to do anything. And I didn't even play when they were really hitting that, because I stopped playing Ubisoft games right before Valhalla. So, and Valhalla, I feel like, is a lot of like the trigger point for a lot of people, because that game was so long and had so much extended content that was just filler. So I feel like I hadn't even experienced the real version of that Ubisoft vision, which everyone kind of hates now. But I think the problem is that the Ubisoft games aren't inherently bad. They're just the same thing. It's almost like junk food. Ubisoft games feel like junk food. Like, it's a guilty pleasure to play a Ubisoft game at this point, because it is such a downgrade in so many other video games, whether it be indie or other AAA games. It's just feels so bad sometimes to play, and it's just some junk food. It's just, for some people, it's really good junk food or guilty pleasures. And I feel like, I don't even know if Ubisoft is going to change that, but I guess I'll be keeping an eye on them as much as I want to, because every time I see them, I get annoyed, but you know, it's whatever. Thank you everyone for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel if you could. It's free, and 95% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you liked this video. Hit the dislike button if you dislike it. I understand completely. You just heard my opinion opinion. I would love to hear your opinion down in the comments down below. Thank you everyone for watching. If you'd like to follow me on other platforms, I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads, all at the Technojelly. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye, everyone.